All this stuff behind me is inventory. It's all got to be put away so I can make room for more of it. But the funny thing about inventory is that this is a bunch of cash right here. Yeah, you buy the inventory, you tie up the cash. So there's this thing called cash conversion cycle. There's this other thing called inventory turnover ratio. And we're going to talk about it while I put this stuff away. Well, inventory turnover ratio is the amount of time it takes for you to sell through all of your inventory from the day you receive it to the day it's all gone. It gives you an idea of how many times you turn inventory per year, which gives you an idea of how many times you need to reorder per year. It's similar, but different from cash conversion cycle. But before I explain how that works, we need to understand why we're even talking about this in the first place. That's because cash is king. It's the lifeblood of your business. Sales is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash is king. Without cash, you can't buy inventory. There's a lot of businesses out there that have high numbers in sales. I mean, I've been one of them. There's a lot of businesses out there that have had a lot of sales, but no profit and negative cash flow. That's not a healthy business. A healthy business has cash flow and profit, because without those things, you can't invest in more inventory. Now, I don't claim to be an expert on this. I've messed it up 1,000,001 times. I've been the guy with a ton of profit and literally no money in the bank. But why? It's because I didn't understand my inventory turnover ratio and my cash conversion cycle. I bought too much inventory. Some of this inventory you're seeing in front of you, I bought like 2 or 3 years ago, and I still haven't sold through it. It's because I just didn't know. I thought we were gonna keep growing. I thought I could sell through it if I just spent more money on marketing. Nope, I was wrong. So now I have a bunch of cash tied up in inventory that I can't spend on marketing, new products, our hero SKUs, or anything else. I have to first sell through it. So you could imagine how much it would suck to have all your money tied up in inventory and no money in the bank to move that inventory. Yeah, it really sucks. It's how businesses die. That's what my partner Deacon calls indigestion. He says most businesses don't die of starvation, they die of indigestion. This is an example of indigestion. So, how do we fix it? What can I do differently next time? Well, I can be very clear about my inventory turnover ratio, knowing how long it takes for me to turn a type of inventory so I can buy the right amount. For example, if I buy these wood rounds and I sell through 5,000 of them, whoa, they just fell. Good thing I wasn't standing back there. All right. Well, let's say I bought some wood rounds, right? I've got them listed in my store and I sell through all of them in 3 months, okay? 1 quarter, if we're gonna keep the math simple. That's really good. That means my inventory turnover ratio is a single quarter or 3 months. That means I need to buy inventory 4 times a year to continue to sell through if I don't grow or if I don't shrink. So that's my baseline. Then I take a look at my growth or my shrinkage. Like, are we growing or are we getting smaller? Are we making cuts or are we spending more? And that will help me figure out if I need to order more than what we normally sell through or less. But I will tell you this, it is better to sell through less and sell out than it is to have extra inventory on your shelves. Why? Because you don't want money tied up. If you don't have your money, you can't spend it on the things that need to be spent on. So it's not a good idea to have a bunch of, even if it's affordable inventory, it's still money that's tied up. I would so much rather sell out, have the cash, and then build a launch list or a list of email subscribers who want to get it when it gets back in stock. Plus it creates hype and it's social proof that your product is actually good because you're sold out. That means other people wanted it. So that's how I use inventory turnover ratio to do inventory planning. I look at how much we're selling through stuff. I figure out the amount of time it takes to sell through all of it. And then that's how I base my reorders for inventory. Now, cash conversion cycle is the other side of this equation. They kind of go hand in hand. Cash conversion cycle is the amount of time that it takes for you to convert the money that you spent on inventory back into cash. Now, you might think that it's the same thing. It's not. Your cash conversion cycle can be very different from your inventory turnover ratio because you can get financing and you can get terms. Here's an example. What if I bought the inventory on a credit card, right? Let's say that credit card has 90-day terms. I don't have to make a payment for 90 days. Okay, so I buy the inventory on a credit card. I don't have to spend the money, the cash yet. And then I turn through the inventory and I get all my money back in 90 days. My cash conversion cycle is zero. Zero. I literally never not have the cash in my bank account because of how quickly I can turn it. So an inventory turnover ratio of 90 days and a cash conversion cycle of 0 days, holy shit, that is a profitable, healthy business. You're moving. Now, that's not the equation I have. If you want to look at my inventory turnover ratio, how about 24 months? How about 36 months? Cash conversion cycle is even worse because I had to spend the money up front. And that's the reality of most people. Most of us have to spend the money before we get the inventory, and then we don't get the money until after all the inventory's been sold out because we're still waiting on things like Amazon and Shopify to pay us. That means we'll have a negative negative cash conversion cycle is good. That means our cash conversion cycle is going to be longer than our inventory turnover ratio. And that is not good because it slows our growth. It slows our business and it hamstrings us and doesn't allow us to move as quickly as we could. Now, the opposite is also true. You could have a cash conversion cycle of like negative 15 days, negative 30 days. And that just means you get paid back faster than you spend the money, which is very possible, very possible. You just have to be smart with your financing and you need to have guaranteed sell-through, which you could theoretically do in e-commerce if you had great terms, or if you were selling to like a retailer, a partner, a wholesaler, etc. Most retailers pay late, they give you terms, but there are ways to figure this out. So I thought I'd fill you in on some of the mistakes that I've made about understanding my inventory and my cash cycles, because all this inventory sitting on the shelf, it's like indigestion. It's just cash tied up that I wish I could have right now. If I could sell all this stuff right now, I absolutely would, but I can't. And I have more than this too. I'm putting it away because I need to make room for more pallets. Mistakes were made, my friend. Mistakes were made. So, what am I doing next time? How am I going to do things differently? How am I going to get better at this? Well, I'm not going to buy inventory in large amounts to save a buck anymore because it just doesn't make sense. Okay, that's the first thing. You see, the manufacturers and the people that are selling us products, they love to sweeten the deal and say, oh, dude, you'll save 10% if you buy 10,000 units. So we do, because we think it's going to save us money, which is going to add to our profit. While it may add to the profit after everything's sold, it increases our inventory turnover ratio and our cash conversion cycle, and it prolongs it. Now, you might think that's not a bad thing, like I didn't, but realistically it is, because when those cycles are longer, it means that you have less chances to iterate, to make the product better, to change the product, alter your packaging, make improvements, or anything else that you need to do, which is a real problem, because once we start selling, we're gonna start getting one-star reviews. It's only natural, and we're gonna wanna fix those reviews by changing the product. Well, if you have 10,000 units, you ain't fixing shit until you sell through all of it. And guess what? If you know there's something wrong with the product, you think it's gonna be easier or harder for you to sell? Yeah, exactly. So, it's for those reasons that I don't order a ton of inventory just to get price breaks anymore. I don't think it's smart. I would so much rather sell out and use that social proof to sell more units. I would so much rather build a list of people that raised their hand and said, ooh, when you get back in stock, I want one of these. So much rather have that than a price break on manufacturing. Plus, I like making the improvements. So what's a safe number of units to order? What would I do if I could go back in time? I would order 500 units at a time. Maybe 1,000 if the product is selling really well and our ads are working and performing and we're getting profits or staying profitable. Yeah, 1,000 units at a time. That's all I need, because on the next run, I'm gonna make a change. And on the next run, I'm gonna make a change. And I'm gonna keep making changes until I stop getting a significant amount of 1 and 2 and 3-star reviews. It's also going to make sure that I don't spend a bunch of money on products that people don't want. Like, you have no idea how much that happens. It's happened to me so many times. I've got like $100,000 worth of stencils that aren't selling. So I thought they'd be a good idea, but I didn't test them yet. I just spent the money. Oh, all you gotta do is spend the money and run ads, right? No. What if people don't want your stuff? You're fucked. Hard lessons, man. Expensive lessons, that's for sure. When there's trash in my area, I pick it up. I think the fire department ingrained that into me. It's a funny thing when you're interviewing for the fire department, they want to test your character and see what kind of person you are. So a lot of times they'll give you these like little mini tests. And so it's very common in a firefighting interview to walk into the room, the panel with 3 guys sitting at a table in front of you in full Class A uniforms, and there to be a small piece of trash on the ground. If you see a small piece of trash on the ground and you don't stop, pick it up and put it in the trash can, chances are you won't get the job. But if you do stop and put it in the trash can, they'll know what type of person you are They'll know you have attention to detail. They'll know that you can think for yourself. You don't get distracted by what's in front of you, and you can think under pressure. This is a very, very stressful situations. You know, you're interviewing for the career of your lifetime, right? So that habit has stuck with me. I like to pick up the trash when I find it. Plus, this is my town, this is my city, and this is my workplace. You're probably judging me based on how messy it is right now. And I don't blame you, I would judge me too. Be like, dude, this guy's a slob. How his products look if he doesn't even keep his warehouse neat? Yeah, dude, it's justified. That's why I'm cleaning it up. That's why I'm showing you the behind the scenes of what it's actually like. This is what business ownership is. It's a lot of blue collar work. Luckily, I'm no stranger to blue collar work. Did it for years, and I love it. It's a lot of organizing. It's a lot of just thankless effort. It's a lot of stuff that's not glamorous. Just like the fire department. You think it's all glory, putting out fires, saving babies, bringing people back to life. And while that's true and you get to do some of that, you do that about 5% of the time. Rest of the time, you're running medical aids, picking people up off the ground and putting them back in bed, taking people to the hospital for tummy aches and back pain, cleaning up people that are covered in poo because they shit themselves and they fell off the toilet and wedged themselves between the bathtub and the commode, putting out car fires or showing people how to turn the water off to their house. It's crazy. The amount of stuff that we deal with that is not the serious stuff is insane. But you trained and we're there for the serious stuff. And it's the same with business ownership. Not always glamorous, but sometimes it's the best thing ever. Now, you might be wondering what's in these boxes. Evan, how come you have so many priority mailboxes? That's weird. Funny story. All these priority mailboxes contain wood rounds. Yep, wood slices. They are from one of my manufacturers. I've got a mom and pop shop over in the Carolinas that manufacture the wood slices for me. And instead of paying for cardboard, they decided to get free priority mailboxes and pack all the wood slices in them because it was free, 99. And while I admire their ingenuity, post office would definitely frown upon it. The reason is because you can get these boxes for free from the post office, from the website, USPS or stamps.com. Any priority mail envelopes and boxes they'll send you for free because you can only use these boxes with that service and they make a higher margin on that service. Priority mail, that is. Hence why they'll give them to you for free. So do what you will with that information. And so what I'm doing is I'm breaking down the pallet and I'm getting them all stuck on this rack up here because we don't sell through them very quickly. So I can afford to put some up top, some in the middle, and then a handful down low. But I want to get the 2 top racks filled up first because our inventory turnover ratio on the wood slices is slower than it is on Maker's Magic and Scorch Markers, etc. So those things are going to be down low where I need to access them quickly and more often, whereas the stuff that goes up top and in the back is the stuff that has a lower or longer inventory turnover ratio. So not only does it help you with cash flow management, planning, but also helps you with supply chain and making sure that you have enough stuff. And that's just so cool how everything works out and comes together. Once I make space, I'm going to be able to get a forklift. I've got one coming and it's going to be delivered today. Pretty exciting stuff. But I got no room for a forklift if I've got all this stuff up here. So I need to move it around. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move this pallet. Don't always need a forklift, right? When you have a pallet jack. I got this pallet jack from Harbor Freight. It's about $350, maybe $400, but it works great. And I'm able to move pallets by hand. You just pump it up, it lifts up the pallet, and you can move it. Novel concept, right? There we go. Now it's out of the way. Okay, let's bring this down and let's stack some more wood. Now, in case you haven't noticed, this warehouse is pretty new. I've not had it for a long time. I still have a lot of organizing to do, a lot of labeling to do, a lot of cleanup to do, but eventually this place will be transformed and it's gonna look really, really good. I'm really excited about it. So now I have a space to manufacture, ship, and most importantly, I can receive pallets. And receiving pallets was the big thing. Trucks didn't want to come to a residential neighborhood, especially my residential neighborhood, because it was on a hill and they don't like doing that. I don't blame them. It wasn't easy to navigate, not at all. So now that we have this place, I'm getting pallets out the wazoo. It's crazy, but I love it. It's making things so much more efficient and cheaper. Oh my gosh, shipping a pallet is about the same cost it is to ship like a 45-pound box UPS. That's badass. All right, we're gonna lift it up a little bit. I'm going up there. There we go. Now I need to get all those priority mailboxes up there and I need to get them arranged, which I think I can do without a forklift. I just need to do it smart and get myself set up for success. So I'm basically gonna take all these and move them up there Yeah, you know what? I'll just do that now. And then I'll just climb up there and rearrange them. Luckily, they're in small manageable boxes. So there's about 50 wood rounds a box. So each box is like, I don't know, cost of goods, probably like 17 bucks. MSRP value, 75. So I imagine each box is a $75 bill, but I need to turn them. And in order to turn them, I got to sell them. Luckily, it's a good product. I just need to put more marketing, more content behind it. That's how we move our stuff, content. If we don't get attention for our products, no one's gonna buy them. And that's a good segue into the next topic, which is attention. You gotta figure out how to get attention for your products. You either have to earn it or you gotta pay for it. There's really no other way. Think about it. Run ads, affiliates, post your own content, organic, YouTube videos, podcasts. It's either free or you pay for it. Takes longer if you do it for free or choose one of the free routes, like earning it, like earned media. However, you get a much better return long-term and you develop skills that really help. All right, it's time. All right, let's go up here. Business ownership, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it's really like. Climbing on top of pallet racks on a Saturday so I can get my inventory cleaned up and put away. So I can be organized. That's what it's all about. Efficiency, organization. Don't you love it? Doesn't it look like fun? Speaking of business ownership, there's a few things you need to become an official business. And one of them is an LLC. Another one of them is an EIN. And another thing is a business bank account. That's really all you need to open a business. Crazy, right? I know. So why don't more people do it? Because it's confusing. TikTok and YouTube can mislead us. Not my videos. I won't mislead you, but the influencers will. They just don't know any better. I don't blame them. So, if that's the only things that you need to form a business, how do you get them? Well, you can form an LLC with your state, or you can pay a service to do it for you. That's what I like to do. So I like it when they save my docs. And I also like to make sure I don't make mistakes. And there's someone else there checking my work. So if you choose to do it yourself, I recommend Zen Business. I've used them to form the last 2 LLCs. And I put a bunch of YouTube videos out about them. So they're a good company. Now, the next thing is the EIN. Another thing that you can go get yourself. Just get it from the IRS. It's free. Or you can get it from Zen Business. Just pay them to get it for you. Because once you have those 2 things, you can go open a business bank account. Where do I get a business bank account, Evan? Relay, duh. They're an incredible banking platform. I use them. They're great. They really are. But you need your LLC paperwork and your EIN paperwork in order to get a business bank account with them. So you got to do those things first. And once you have them, you can just go apply for a business bank account with Relay. Be approved in a couple days. And you can start taking money. And bam, you're an official business. A lot of people get hung up on some of this stuff, like the trademarks and the logos and all that thing. You don't need any of that. None of it. Not until you make money. Not until you make your first sale. So many people spin their wheels and spend their money and waste their time on frivolous bullshit, and they never even make a sale. They're entrepreneurs. I like to wait until I have sales and money coming in to go get any of that stuff. Because how do you even know if you're gonna like this business? How do you know if people are even gonna buy from you? You don't. That's why I recommend just getting started and focusing on your first sale. So when you're ready, I'll leave links in the description to Zen Business and Relay. Use as much or as little of their services, I don't care. But if you do use someone, use them. They're good people. So, what happens next? After I get all this inventory organized and put away, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna make space for more inventory, and then I'm gonna organize all of it, and it's all gonna be in one spot. I'll know exactly how much I have and what the value of my inventory is, and then I can do planning, and I can figure out what I need to sell, at what price, and how much of it, so I can start getting my money back. So I can start investing it in the products that are actually selling, like Maker's Magic and Scorch Markers. Or I can start investing in testing new products. But I can't spend any money on that stuff until I get rid of some of this inventory and convert it back into cash, because I don't want to go into debt again. That shit sucks. I'm over it. I don't want to be in debt. So I'm going to sell through this inventory first. How am I going to sell through this inventory though? What am I going to do? I want to make content. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to make unselfish content, and I'm going to help people. So in this case, because I own a crafting company, I'm going to talk about all kinds of cool tips about wood. So when they want to go buy wood and they're thinking about getting nice wood, they'll come to me because I'm the guy that gave them tips. I'm not going to just make content about my product. That is selfish content. It doesn't work that well. You might think it would, but it doesn't. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about me either. They want to know what's in it for them. So instead of telling them about our products and making selfish content, we give them information or inspiration or ideas, and they appreciate it. And then when they're ready, they come to us because we were the ones that helped them. It's a beautiful thing, but so many people don't understand it. And all they do is just make ads and talk about their product all day long. And it just doesn't work. Nobody cares. They want to know what's in it for them. So you have to learn how to articulate that, How can you articulate how their life will be better with your stuff? It's not always easy, but it doesn't have to be hard, I promise. I say that because I've done a decent amount of it, around 10,000 videos or so, more now, and I'm starting to understand what works and what doesn't work. Selfish content does not work. Lots of brands will reach out to me too, and they want me to make selfish content for them. I'm like, I'll do it. It's not gonna work like you want it to. I'm not gonna post a video about your business and then all of a sudden go viral. That's not how it works. The videos that go viral have something in it for you, for the viewer. Think about it. When's the last time you watched a viral ad? Almost never, very rarely. Maybe like one of those Harmon Brother ads or something, like Poopery or whatever, Squatty Potty. Not people like us. Gotta make unselfish content. Gotta help people. That's the way of the business owner in 2025. Unselfish content. The good news is that it's never been easier to make unselfish content because you're an expert. I know you are. You started this business because you know some shit about some shit. You need to tell people, whether it's about rock hounding or about bubblegum or about dental health, whatever. Maybe it's about shoes and insoles. Who cares? You know something. Teach people what you know and they will trust you. And when they trust you, they will buy from you, and in a healthy way that lasts and that has meaning. But if you try and shortcut that process, you're screwing yourself over. Crazy, right? Sounds simple, but so many people are like, oh, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to make videos about. Well, you know all kinds of shit. Talk about it. Talk about your career as a nurse. Entertain us with your stories. Help us better understand what the words in your industry mean. Give me tips and tricks to make my life better. Show me how to do it at home or cheap or without having to buy something. And then when I realize just how difficult it is to do it on my own, I'll come to you and I'll buy your thing. Unselfish content, man. Why do you think I make content like I make content? Why do you think I give away all my stuff in my bio link for free? I don't even ask for an email because I know that eventually it's gonna help people. And if I help enough people, it will come back. It will come back to me in the form of business one way or another. I'm not sure exactly how. I just know it will. All right, how many more can I put up there? 3? Yeah, I'll put 3 more up there. Hey, we're making good progress, aren't we? 1, 2, 3. So that's how I'm gonna sell through this inventory. I'm gonna make content about it. I'm gonna teach people everything I know about woodworking, because that's what I know some shit about. And I'm gonna use my wood as an example, my boards, my wood slices, and I'm gonna make a difference in people's lives. And then they're gonna come to me and buy my stuff when they're ready to order something, because they'll say, hey, that dude Evan, he was cool, he helped me for free, blah, blah, blah. Ah, nice. Progress is being made. Okay, I think I'm gonna put the rest down here so I can have access to them. But that slow inventory right up there, that'll do. You know, maybe I should even put more up there because it makes sense. Yeah, I think I'll just keep stacking them up top. That makes sense, I should do that. Okay, let me adjust these first though. I wanna get them at least on the edge of the rack. There we go, we're looking good. Okay, Mike's still there. Thought I lost it. All right, let's keep going. I'm gonna keep talking to you until this is done. We're gonna see how this piece of content performs, because all I'm doing is giving you my raw, unfiltered thoughts while I work, and I'm really curious how you're gonna respond to it. I experiment all the time, obviously, as you can tell. You've seen a bunch of different styles of content from me, but by actually doing the work and talking about it while I'm doing it, maybe there will be something different about it. Maybe you'll enjoy it more. Maybe it will make more sense. Maybe the unfiltered thoughts are better than the scripts. I don't know, I'm still figuring it all out. Every video I post, I learn something from it. Look at the retention graphs, I look how it performs, look at the click-through rates, I get an idea of what I did different, what I did wrong, what I did right, and oh my gosh, it helps me improve so much. If I didn't dissect and try and get better with every video, I would still be the same. By experimenting with products and types of content, you get better. But what's the price? The price is being uncomfortable. The price is trying something new and failing in front of your peers and your customers. Now, that is something that I've become quite comfortable with. You know why? Because I don't give a shit. They're all gonna die, and it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Nobody cares about me. How many times have you thought about me in between watching my content? Probably 0. You don't care about me. You don't think about me. You don't think about the way I look, the way I sound, the way I dress, what I do. You just don't care. Same goes for everybody else. Nobody cares. Now, my wife gives me shit because not caring what other people think is one of my superpowers, and I'll admit, she's right. But I do care a little bit. I care a little bit, but I only care about the people who are better than me. For example, if you got more money than me, I'll take your money advice, and I will care about what you have to say about how I'm making my money. If you have more followers and better content than me, I will listen to you and take your advice, and I will care what you think. But if you don't, I don't give a shit. You think I care what my parents think? They don't have what I want. Why would I care about their opinions? I take spiritual advice from people who are more spiritual than me, money advice from people that are richer than me, business advice who have better businesses than me, and fitness advice from people who look better than me. I'm not going to take advice from people who don't have what I want, because I don't want to get what they have. And that's all they know how to do, is get what they have. Therefore, why do I care about the opinions of people that don't matter to me? I shouldn't, so I don't. That's a lot harder for other people. And I think some of it's tied to self-worth, if I'm being real. But on the other hand, we're tribalistic. We want to fit in. We want to be part of a tribe. We want to belong to a group of people. I do, and so do you. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it can hamstring us, and it can consume our thoughts, and it can make us obsessed with image and what other people think about us. It's not a healthy way to live. All right, it's time to lose this hoodie. It's too hot. Oh, but the good news is we're done. Take off my little microphone. Oh, about time it heated up out here. It's been cold over it, but now it's warm. Much better. All right, that's looking pretty good. I'm pleased with that. Now that the wood rounds are put away and you know a little bit more about inventory turnover ratio, cash conversion cycle, using content to sell, but not making selfish content, making content that helps other people, I think this is a good place to call it. Let's talk about our 30-day sales numbers so you can see how much money I made in the last 30 days, so you can compare yourself to me, because I only want you taking my advice if I make more money than you. Otherwise, don't listen to me. You know more. Listen to other people, like the Hermosis. There's a lot of good people out there, but I'd start with them. Anyways, let's talk about some numbers and conversion rates. This is the first month of 2025, January, a 4-week period. On Shopify, we did a total of $13,984.89 at a conversion rate of 1.43%. On Amazon, we did $42,756.02 at a conversion rate of 11.6%. In retail, we did a total of $39,347.10. Conversion rate is not applicable here. This brings our grand total for the month of January 2025 to $76,414.46. Now remember, these are top line numbers. This is our sales, the biggest number possible. Our business operates on a profit margin of approximately 10%. So of that $76,000 in sales that we made, approximately $7,600 was profit. See you on the next video.